Hold on, guys. You know how I am. I gotta make sure y'all can hear me. Hold on, guys. You know how I am. I gotta make sure y'all can hear me. And I can hear you. I gotta make sure y'all can hear me. All right. What up, what up, what up, y'all? It is your girl, Gigi. It's Sunday. Y'all hear that ticking in the back? You should already know what it is. For those of you who don't, it's the slow cook of the oven and the stove and all of that. Like, it's Sunday. What you thought this was? We cooking in this bitch. Okay? All right. All right. Happy Sunday, y'all. This is gonna be a quick one because I don't have a whole lot of time. So I'm not gonna do a general read for all signs today. I'm actually just gonna focus on Gemini because I can. Ha ha. And yeah. So I think I'm gonna do this, and I'm not gonna do like an in-depth thing. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna start, and I'm gonna see what the hell is going on with us in this life, in this thing we call life. Um, Start with my oracle deck. Just go ahead and knock this out real quick, and then go from there. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Sunday. I'm having a good one though thus far. I just it's hot, and I'm too lazy to go and sit in my arrow. And I don't know what happened to my. I don't know where my little church fan is. Hmm. It's in here somewhere because I don't ever go too far without it. So if y'all see me start to gloss and glisten a little bit, uh, it's because your girl is roasting in this mofo. You know, just like the chicken in the oven. I just in this bitch roasted. Okay, okay. All right, y'all. Let's see what we got. Okay, so let me bring it down. I'm really hyped right now. I feel good, y'all. I really do. I'm starting to get back in my little flow of things, which is nice. Um, Slowly but surely. All right. So, and I'll timestamp this so y'all don't have to watch all of this. But unless y'all want to, that's certainly your choice. I just have to. I have to bring it down a little bit sometimes. My It's no. All right, y'all. Whew, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. I know why Biggie's in my head. Biggie's all I hear is first things first. I pop up first all the dummies. Let me stop. Because that ain't my song. And I know I can't sing it. All right. So first oracle out the deck is confusion, destiny, and grief. Okay, Gems. So I'm not one of those people that's gonna be like, or oh, this is great. I kind of let things unfold. And so your oracle messages are confusion, destiny, and grief. So this would actually talk about sort of like the three main things of what's going on with you right now, Gems. You may have a little bit of confusion. This is seven of cups energy. And it's funny because with this card, if you notice, there is not one person there, there's two. I don't know if you can see the second person in the clouds. So this is definitely uh this is giving me Gemini energy. Also, if you look at, I don't know if you guys can catch, but if you look at the clouded figure, it has this look on its face like, what we gonna do, what we gonna do. But it's holding on to the actual 3D person. It's got its arms around a 3D person, kind of like a guardian angel. Um, and when you look at it in the full regard, it's like, what are we gonna do? Well, first things first, we know we're gonna hold on. We're gonna hang in there. We gotta we gotta lay everything down on the table and hash out a plan. Then you have destiny. So I like to think of the elders in this photo are representing your ancestors right now. And if you notice, there are two figures that are kneeling. One is in the black and one is in the white. This always to me signifies duality, the duality of Geminis, the duality of masculine to feminine, the duality of young to old. Life is about dualities. I know a lot of us have heard the saying, what goes up must come down. I like to expound on that and say, what goes left must eventually come right. Um, Also, what does go down eventually has to go up. And everything has a counterbalance. Everything has the yin and the yang concept applies to everything in existence, not just in the cosmos, not just on the earth, not just within your body, not just within your mind, but literally it is one of those fundamental mathematical equations that cannot be removed. What in certain comic book circles we would call the constant, or that defining thing, you know. And then you have grief. So some of you may be mourning the loss of something or someone. I honestly, I don't get the impression that you are actually in a grieving stage specifically right now. I think because when you put these cards together, you really get an energy of someone who is letting go of something so that they can move into something different. And so, and collectively, these cards really do give me the energy of one major arcana, which is the world. Endings bring beginnings. You cannot have a beginning without an ending. Hold on, guys. Let's see if I can, because it's really bright today. We're having a beautiful day, but it's bright. So I just want to make sure you guys can see me without a too big of a glare. So, yeah, so I think what you got going on, Gems, and this is cool. Like, if anybody knows, if anybody understands the necessity for reinvention, if anybody understands what it means to have to stop and start and, be flexible enough to move from one lane to another, it's definitely Gemini's, And so I think that for some of you, you may have been convinced that one thing was your destiny when in fact, um, it wasn't. And that's okay too, because you have to have a certain flexibility. You have to have a certain amount of flexibility in life in order to not lose your mind or go off the deep end, because we can set goals and we can set plans and we can be so sure of where we are headed and where we're going. And then one little thing changes the whole trajectory. So let's say, for instance, maybe you were a person that had your life all mapped out. You knew, what school you wanted to go to once you graduated from high school. You knew what major you wanted to, take up. You knew what career you wanted to move into even after graduation. You knew what steps you wanted to take to get to where you wanted to go in certain, in a certain field. And then, in all of that, you never thought about, the other aspects of life. You never thought about, I don't know, having kids or getting married, or I don't know, having fun even. You stayed focused on this one path. And as long as you had that one path, you were very confident, you were very sure about the decisions that you were making. And then let's say while you're on this path, let's say your junior year in college, you get pregnant. And I'm just using this for an example. Or for the men, your girlfriend gets pregnant, whatever, right? And now all of a sudden, you're not just a person with a plan and a mission to, become successful professionally. Now you're a parent. And let me tell you something, having kids, they throw every plan that you have completely up against the wall, and very little of it ever sticks. Very little of it ever sticks. Like, you could devise a plan and be on trajectory, but if you mess around and have a baby, you might as well just learn patience, learn temperance, or any major life move like that. If you get married, unfortunately, if you divorce, if somebody unfortunately and unexpectedly expires, like, those are the things in life that just constantly, um they're always throwing us for a loop. All right, so now I'm using the Kipper deck just to narrow down some things. Um, with the Chakra Oracle deck, you do have the Privileged Lady here, clarifying confusion. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh, I can tell already. This is gonna be good, Gems. Okay, so you have the Privileged Lady clarifying confusion. And the Privileged Lady is actually the 12th card in the Kipper deck, which, if you put 1 and 2 together, that equals 3. And I'm going to tell you, these are those moments where you'll see me go on tangents. If you ever watch any of my videos, when I start talking numerology and hidden messages and subliminals in the cards, I can go on a whole tangent, because it's those little subliminals in your spread that actually make the difference in the messaging itself. It's what differentiates the messages per person, per group, per spread, per card. So when you have the Privileged Lady, and the Privileged Lady, for one, is someone who seems to get her way quite a bit. Now, you could be a man or a woman, but we'll clarify this even deeper when we get to the tarot. But right now, what we're talking about is, we're talking about somebody who has an abundance of resources, probably affluence, probably has a lot of friends, a lot of, doesn't really have a difficult life, doesn't have a, and when I say difficult, that's really subjective, but what I mean is, like, the perception of her, the perception of the Privileged Lady is that she has an easy life. Whatever she wants, she can get it. Whoever she needs, they're at her beck and call. She doesn't, she never wakes up like this. She always wakes up, somebody's there to do her hair, fix her makeup, pick out her wardrobe. She's always dressed to the nines. She's always at the center of every social ball. This would be your socialite, your go-to person, your it girl, if you would, right? But she is also the one that's clarifying confusion. So for some of you, you may not see yourself like this. You may want to be this way, but you may not see yourself this way. You may, for others, you may see yourself like this, and it is completely not what you are. So in that regard, I'm gonna just say respectfully, Gemini, have a seat. For some of you, you don't you don't realize how good you have it. That's the strongest message I'm getting. It's like, you are the Privileged Lady and you still want more. And you're confusing the universe, because the universe is like, what else do you want from me, lady? You got everything. You know what I mean? Also, in terms of the numerology, 2 plus 1 being 3, 3 being a divine number, it's also a master number. It's the number of the trilogy. In certain circles, it can be referred to as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In other circles, it can be regarded as, man, woman, and the snake. In other circles, it can be regarded as man, woman, and the higher being that keeps them together. In other circles, it can be considered man, woman, and child. But 3 is the Holy Trinity. 3 is a divine number for that reason. It cannot be divided. It cannot be divided outside of anything but itself, which is a really important message to take on with this right here, because that says that whatever this is, nothing can sabotage it but the person at the center of it, the people or persons at the center of it. So just a little side note. Okay, so for your destiny card, some of you, and I'm telling you, like, you got a lot of yin and yang in this. You got a lot of what I like to call do I stay or do I go energy. On one side, some of y'all are like, I want to follow my destiny wherever it takes me. On another side, some of y'all are like, I don't even know what my destiny is. I don't even know what path I'm supposed to take. But the cards are saying, and your message today is follow your destiny. Go, and if you don't know what it is to follow it, go find it. Distant horizons. So this is actually similar to, like, in tarot, the Three of Wands cards, but this really, the Three of Wands card, this really speaks to going out and striking your own, forging your own path, striking your own adventure, if you would. If you notice, so there's an anchor and a ship in this picture, but neither one of them makes sense. The anchor is entirely too big to belong to that ship specifically, and the ship is in the air, which is not typically where ships belong. So neither one of these objects really fit when you take a closer look at them. I think a lot of you may be experiencing that. On the surface, a lot of you Geminis may be feeling like, or people may assume that you belong to a certain crowd, you belong to a certain mindset, you belong to a certain belief system. But if they were to just take a closer look, they would actually realize that you don't fit in whatever environment, whatever circumstance they are encountering you in. The other thing too is I always like to tell my viewers and people that I read with on a personal, manifestation starts in the 5D or in the mind, which is one of the beautiful things about being an air sign, which I'm not going to make this about me, but since this is about Geminis, I do want to share this with you, my fellow air signs. The beautiful thing about being a Gemini, or being an air sign in general for that matter, is our space, our safe space in the cosmos is within the mind. It's within the conceptual planes of everything that we see in the 3D. So we are at our most powerful when we are at the beginning of the manifestation point, otherwise known as the 5D space. That being said, every adventure, every concept, every adventure, every idea, every whim, everything that motivates the Gemini comes from the 5D. Not so much, it is there are emotions involved, because we really put our I'm trying to watch my words because it's YouTube. We really put everything that we have into those things that we are most passionate about, right? So, for instance, we can have a day job because it pays our bills, right? And so we abide by the regulations of keeping that day job. We abide by the rules and the policies that'll keep us employed. We walk the line, right? But at night, our real passion is, like, I don't know, making YouTube videos about tarot. I don't know. Whatever your real passion is. And it has nothing to do with keeping the tangible going as much as it does just keeping you sane. So you can keep the tangible going. So in that regards, keep in mind your destiny, whatever it is that calls to you, whatever that is speaking to you. If you don't know what it is, think about what sits and I just thought about what's about to come out my mouth, but it is what it is. Think about what sits in your think tank all the time. What is it that is always on your mind? Is it, and it doesn't have to make sense at first. Just what is it that is always on your mind? Is it the kids? Is it the environment? Is it, you know, making YouTube videos? Is, what is it that is a place of solace for you, a place of creativity for you in the very space that you call home, which is the 5D? Okay. Also, some of you might be traveling. So if we're talking about this in a more literal sense, some of you may be traveling. Some of you may decide that you want to go explore the world. Nothing wrong with that. maybe gain some different perspectives, maybe meet some new people. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It'll help to refresh your perspective. It'll help to refresh your insight. Some of you also, yeah. So you also have grief here, and I'm gonna bounce around a little bit because I'm breaking them down and then I'm gonna put them all together for you because there's a bigger picture here. So you also have grief here, and if you notice, this woman is holding her dog, which, as a dog lover, this just really kind of tugged at my heart. But more than anything, if you are a dog lover, you know that there's only one, or if you're a dog person in general, you know that there's very few times where your dog will allow you to hold them like this and they're completely still. Now, in conjunction with this card being grief, this is that saddest moment when that dog has faced its eternal rest. And dogs signify loyalty, they signify companionship. They can really represent not only a long-term relationship, but one that is fully invested in. Um, Many people find their pets to be the safest place for them to be vulnerable and to show their love and their affection and their joy. Some of you may be mourning the loss of a pet, and I'm sorry about that. I truly am. Others you may be mourning the loss of a very close friendship or a very close connection that you thought would go the distance. Um, I'm here to tell you the loss of this, while you may be grieving it, keep in mind it may be a blessing in disguise. Okay. Because right under grief you have gift. Also, I want to tell you, and I intentionally did not go into the numbers on these second two cards because they actually go together. So on distant horizons, you have, this is the 36 card in the Kipper deck. 6 and 3 equal 9. 9 is the number of divinity. It's also the number of independence. It's a number that signifies a person understanding their own self-worth, their own value. The number 9 speaks to being able to go down to the root of of what and who makes you who and what you are, and being able to see how you have built upon that root. Okay. Interesting enough, the gift card is the 17th card in the Kipper deck. 7 and 1 equals 8. 8 is a lucky number. It represents abundance. It's also a divine number because it represents infinity. Um, a continuous loop of energy that just never stops, never wanes, has no beginning and no ending, right? So for those of you who are grieving the loss of a loved one, or like the literal loss of a loved one, um please know, and this is not going to be for all of you, this is just going to be for like maybe one or two of you. This person is sending you a message, and they're telling you that they are your forever angel. They will always be with you, and you should always definitely try to find a way to keep in tune and connected to their presence, because they're not going to leave you. This is an energy and a love and a care that will go on forever. So that is specific to maybe one or two of you. It doesn't matter if this is a pet, a lover, a family member, a parent, a spouse, whoever it may be. They're just telling you that their love for you is infinite, and it flows just like the tears that you cry for them in that transition. Also, they're gonna be keeping in touch with you. So you might want to just make sure that you stay in tune, like I said, because this person has every intention of staying in touch with you, or this loved one that's transitioning. They have every intention of staying in touch with you and helping you along your journey and helping you along the rest of the way. Um, Flip side, and this is very specific. This is for a cross watcher too. if the person who is transitioned is the Gemini, they're saying this to you, cross watcher. They're saying to you, they are never going to leave you. This is probably somebody that talked you to death and tried to tell you what to do when they were alive, when they were on this side of the plane. They are not really going to stop that when they get on the other side. They are still going to be adamant about helping you as best they can to reach your success. But it's all in love. It's not in malice. It's not nefarious. It's all in love. This is just who they were in life, and this is who they're going to continue to be as your forever angel. Okay, which is kind of sweet and a little annoying, but deal with that how you need to. All right, so let's go to the tarot because I have about 15 minutes left on this. Dang, we've already hit 30 minutes. I can't believe that. All right, so first things first. Please tell me about this privileged lady. Who is this privileged lady? The Emperor. So some of you may be dealing with a Taurus. I'm not a Taurus, Jesus. Some of you may be dealing with an Aries, or may have Aries in your chart. I'm not sure. But this is definitely in regards to a fire sign, Gemini, because you got the Emperor and then you got the King of Wands in the reverse. This could also be this could be a very masculine female, or it could be a slightly effeminate masculine. Take that out as it resonates. But this is somebody who just doesn't realize how much control they have. They could be a boss, they could be an authority figure. They There's something about the power that they wield in conjunction with their ambition. It's not matching up. They have all this prestige, and they have all this authority, and they have all this all this hoopla about them, but they personally are just like, eh. You could think of this kind of like possibly somebody who may have received maybe someone who has received a position of power in a company, but they didn't earn it. Maybe it's like their dad was the founder, or somebody was the founder of the company, and now they have been tasked with taking over the company, and deep down inside, all they want to do is just spend their trust fund money and sail the oceans with a bunch of pretty females and fucking get drunk all day. You know what I mean? Like, this is a very entitled person. This is a very spoiled person. Tell me about distant horizons, please. Page of Pentacles. Oh, this just gets good, Gems. Okay, so for some of you, some of you may be waiting on an offer. Could be about a job. Could be about even about school. Wherever it is, it could involve you relocating. It could involve you moving even overseas, for that matter. I think you are really, really itching for this opportunity. It's definitely one that's slated to change your life in a major way. Tell me about this Wheel of Fortune, please. Queen of Cups. Okay, so for some of you, this opportunity may be something that you have dreamed about. It also may involve another person, probably possibly a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But you're wanting to take advantage of it. Yeah, you're wanting. Okay, so I got two different stories formulating here. Tell me about this Ten of Pentacles, Four of Swords. Okay, so we got one person over here, right? That's like so entitled. I'm not even gonna use that word. This is somebody who is spoiled. They are powerful. They have resources. They have a lot of weight behind them, right? But they are kind of lazy, maybe a little unfocused. They may they're definitely a little immature because of all that they've had handed to them. So this could be somebody who's older, but they are very young in the mind. They're very young about how they behave about things. They don't really set tangible goals, or they don't really aim to establish anything. They just kind of like whatever resources, whatever power, whatever serves them in that immediate moment. That's what they're more about. So I will say that this does sound very much like a narcissistic type person, but I'm not going to say they're narcissistic. Now, you, on the other hand, don't think that this is you. I think the middle row more represents where you are, Gemini. Kind of trying to figure out, where you fit in the grand scheme of things, the larger picture called life, maybe even in your family, at your job. This is an energy of just trying to figure out how your pixel makes helps to make up the bigger picture. And I don't think that you feel like this is wherever you are right now, this is where you are the most impactful. I think you're looking for something else that really speaks to your passions. You're looking at something else, or towards a different direction, that it's not as much about the practical, even though it does have some practical elements to it. It really has more to do so with what you want to do, where you want to go, and what you want to cultivate, what you want to put your love into, what you want to put uh your I'm hearing the phrase, what you're willing to get your heart broken over for, or what you're willing to risk the heartache for. That's what it is. Not that there's heartache coming, but there are just some things in life that, we want so badly, we're willing to risk the disappointment of failing in order to put forth the effort and possibly succeed. In other words, this is that energy of nothing beats a failure but a try. You are looking for that thing that you are willing to risk failing at, because that is what will motivate you enough to try. If it's not something that you are afraid that you will fail at, you don't even, it's just practical. It's just practical. And there's been a lot of practical in your life. There's been a lot of practical about how you move. And maybe this is why people may have the impression that you are privileged, or you are immature, or maybe even narcissistic for that matter. There may even be a notion of people thinking they have you figured out, and thinking that, oh, well, Gemini, they are cold and they are aloof, or they are, it's their way or the highway. And they don't understand that a lot of that, which really does speak back to, potential narcissistic characteristics, a lot of that boils down to the notion that you're just scared. You're just unsure about what your next move is supposed to be, whether that be in general or whether that be in one specific area. That that sense that you give off is completely opposite of what you actually are, and what's really going on inside. So you're now on this path of trying to find out what lights that fire again. What makes you want to go out there and chase it enough to risk losing everything if you get it, or to lose, like 50 said, get rich or die trying. Like, what is your get rich or die trying moment? What is your I will risk it all to I will risk it all to try to have it, versus sit on my ass and guarantee I'll never get it? That's that kind of energy. Now, the beauty of it is while you got this guardian angel, this forever angel over here, I think that's what they're planning on doing when they transition over, or if they've already transitioned over. They're telling you they're working on your behalf. Like while you're on this side of the plane, figuring it out, trying to figure out what direction you need to go, this person that is transitioned, they are on the other side working with the angels and the cosmos on your behalf, and they know that there is a major gift coming. um you have the Four of Swords in reverse down here with the Ten of Pentacles. I think the biggest thing for you right now, or the thing that this person, or this grief, this moment of grief is teaching you, is that you're not done healing yet. You know, whatever is going on, you are not completely out of it yet. However, you are coming out of it, and that's the beginning. So you can't get to the Ten of Pentacles unless you start with the Ace of Pentacles, right? Ace of Pentacles represents new beginnings, new offerings, new directions, new commerce, new tangibilities, right? There is a new beginning that takes place. There's a new beginning that takes place. In that new beginning, there's a little bit of uncertainty. Do I, don't I, will I, won't I, do I stay, do I go, do I speak up, do I keep my mouth closed? Then there's the collaboration that comes with that. Then there's a slightly selfish nature, but just making sure that you have what you need before you give out and dole out what other people need. Then there's that feeling of lack, which is when it comes right behind the Four of Pentacles, and then it's smacked with the Six of Pentacles. It's more like an imposter syndrome. This too shall pass, because then you get to the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles talks about give and take, really having an understanding of what that means, because you've been through all those first five pentacles. You have the Seven of Pentacles, which is about taking stock in your own self-worth, taking stock in what you're invested in, what you put your time into, what you put your money into, what you put yourself into. Then you have the Eight of Pentacles, which is about putting in the work. The Nine of Pentacles, which is about that independent confidence that comes behind putting in the work once you figured out what you want and what you want to invest in. And then you get to the Ten of Pentacles, which is the culmination of all those things before that, right? So what this forever angel is telling you is the Ten of Pentacles is here. My gift to you, what I'm working on in conjunction with you, is to give you this, is to make sure that you achieve this Ten of Pentacles, right? But it's also saying with the Four of Swords in reverse, you might be in a space of, you might be somewhere around yourself, around the Two of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles. You might be somewhere thinking like, what do I do now? Where do I go now? How am I supposed to handle this moving forward? Those kind of things. To, I don't have what I need to handle this moving forward. I don't know how to handle this moving forward. What am I supposed to do moving forward? This person is saying to you this, and it doesn't even really have to be a person that transitioned. It could just be somebody who's already moved on and is just in your energetic space. But this higher voice, this guardian angel, this higher cosmic energy is trying to tell you, relax, because you are still in this space of healing, but you have not healed yet. And it's kind of like picking an old scab. You know, when a wound is fresh, it doesn't have a scab. It's not until it gets to about day two, day three, it has a scab. Then it comes with its own sets of issues. Because if you like me, you want to pick the scab, right? And then it has to start all over. Well, the more you pick the scab and the more it has to start over, it goes from being just a regular scab to being a callus to protect that wound from your constant interference. And that callus, once it gets to a point where you can't pick at it anymore, then it becomes, say it with me, friends and family, a scar. Okay. And so what this is saying is, you've gone from the wound stage, you are in the scab stage, You might be picking at this scab a little bit around the edges, interfering with your healing process. And that is going to create an additional scar for you to have to contend with. So don't do that. Don't do that. Let it heal. Let it do what it do. So that way you can get to this 10 of Pentacles. Okay. I like that. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Can you tell me about this Queen of Cups, though? I need to know about this Queen of Cups. The Page of Wands. Okay, so for some of you, you may be meeting someone. You may be intrigued by this person. It could be a fire sign, could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. This person may act a little younger than you, or you may be the one that's acting a little younger. This person might kind of bring out the flutters in you a little bit. They may want to make an offer to you that you're not ready to accept yet, but there's communication. There's I'm gonna tell you this, between the wands and the cups, there is there's a little bit of saucy and a little bit of sensual, but there is communication. There's this movement, like this tempered movement between the Page of Wands and the Queen of Cups. It's like it's almost like a dance, you know. But here's the thing, and I will say this, and this is just I don't know if this is like a general message for all of you or just like for one or two of you. Yeah, be careful, because some of y'all might be wanting to fall in love and the other one just wants to. Okay. And so be careful, because, um, yeah, be careful, because this could turn around and make you real bitter. Okay. So let's say, for instance, right? Let's say Geminis, y'all are the ones that want to, y'all are in the Queen of Cups energy, right? And you might be talking to somebody and they're in the Page of Wands energy, and it could be very much a brand new. You might be a little bit anxious about it. It might have you a little bit up in your head. Some sleepless nights. Do they like me? Do they not like me? Are they, you know, first of all, let me tell you, calm that down, okay? It is too early in this game for you to be sitting up at night wondering if this person is really digging you, or if they running game on you. Also, sidebar, I just caught this. Some of you may be embarking on a new long distance relationship, just like a just a kind of a getting to know you thing. This is definitely in its early stages, if that is the case, you know. And so some of you might just be a little nervous. Might have been a while since you got out there and you've been dating. Also, too, you have the Queen of Wands in the reverse over here, on your last column. So this is yet again, this is another potential fire sign in your energy. This could also be the energy of you. So the Queen of Wands in the reverse is, she's angry, she's jaded, she's bitter. I'm gonna tell you exactly who the Queen was. I love using Disney references to define my characters, to help, you know, paint a picture for people. If you've ever seen the movie Maleficent, um, so Maleficent, just for the sake of this reading, Maleficent, how she turned out in the end after all of the misunderstandings, the betrayals, the misconstrued love and intentions. And I'm not talking about Maleficent in the sequel. I'm talking about the first Maleficent. If you've ever seen that movie, and you see how Angelina Jolie's character is at the beginning of that film versus how she turns out to be the perceived villain of the storyline, that is the Queen of Swords. I mean, that's the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So the Queen of Wands in the upright, she is attractive. She is ambitious. She can make all sorts of shit happen. She's like Whitney and Shaka Khan. I'm every woman She's like that energy, right? But once she goes into the reverse, this is the woman they talk about when they say, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. She will take all of the gifts, all of the resources, all of the power that she has, and she has so benevolently tried to bestow it upon those that she loves in a productive, positive, and impressive manner. Now she's just going to use it to exact her revenge, so to speak. And so, there may have been a point in time where you were feeling like this, Gems, and it may have made for a lot of, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure, because I gotta go pick my son up from work here in a little bit. You may have been in this energy for a little while. This may have been and notice that it's the Queen of Wands and the Four of Swords in the reverse. So this could have been a situation where, while you were at the very beginning of whatever this hurt, this pain was, you were in this energy and you were kind of projecting that pain outward. So, because you were hurt and you were lonely, maybe your words were a little bit sharper. Your actions were not as I don't want to say complacent, but where you might have been a little bit more agreeable with people at one point in time. Something happened during the season of healing in the beginning, where maybe you were snapping on people, or you were being very cold and distant to people. You weren't very cooperative, those kind of things, you know what I mean? So you may have pushed a lot of people away. You may have alienated a lot of people. You may have a lot of people who just don't quite understand where you're coming from, you know what I mean? And so they're keeping their distance from you. But I think once all that fire kind of dissipates, you still go back to being the Queen of Cups. You go back to being in this energy of love. Um, I'm hearing the word long suffering love. Tell me about this Queen of Wands in the reverse. Tell me about this Queen of Wands in the reverse, please. Yeah, tell me. All right, so, okay. Okay. So for some of you, you had a choice to make. You had to make a decision. And you chose to, so you had a decision between ending something or squashing something. So let me put that into perspective. So you had the choice of, uh, I'm hearing putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. Instead, you took a grenade to the flesh. So imagine it like this, right? Let's say, let's say you get a paper cut on your finger, right? You have the option to just take the band-aid, wrap it up, disinfect it, things like that, right? Or you can go to the extreme and cut your whole finger off. I mean, I guess if you remove the finger, you eliminate the paper cut, but was it all that necessary? Was that the move to make? And I think that's what's got you in this Queen of Wands in reverse, Four of Swords energy. Because you had a choice. You had a choice to put the Band-Aid on it. In other words, to squash this one situation and kind of put this one fire out. Or you had the option to just flood the whole forest and turn into a lake, and voila, problem solved, no more fires ever. And I think that's what you did. I think instead of, putting that one fire out and saving the forest, you flooded the forest over this one small campfire. You flooded the whole 100-acre woods and turned it into a lake. As if to say, now I don't ever have to deal with that problem again. And I get it. I do. I get it. But now I think you're kind of in a place where you're like, you're starting to realize how extreme those options even were to begin with. Everybody is paper cuts. Everybody has moments. Everybody has these things of conflict and confusion and chaos and even heartache, unspoken truths, unchosen paths. Like everybody's got that. But your choice to go so extreme, now you're sitting back and you're looking at it and you're going, huh. I can see how y'all are sitting over on the edge of the woods, tremoring. All your little friends, your woodland friends, they over on the edge of the woods because you done flooded out all their house. They had to run for their life. And now they're over there like, who the hell you her friend? And now you're like, oh, I didn't even stop to think about what this would do to you. That's what's going to put you back in that Queen of Cups energy. But when you go into that Queen of Cups energy, it's a very solemn space. I think you've learned your lesson about just tearing up shit and, kicking ass and taking names later. Tell me about this King. I won't do that. Even though you did fall straight on him. Tell me about this King of Wands in the reverse. Oh, okay. Okay. So, I asked about the King of Wands in reverse, and I got the Three of Cups and the King of Pentacles in the upright. So some of you, and the King of Pentacles is laying across the Nine of Swords. So some of you, were a part of a collective, okay? Some type of group where it could have been a work situation, it could have been a personal situation, a friendship circle, anything. But some of you were in a group, and even though you weren't the head of this group, you were the star of it. So let's say, for instance, if we're talking about a job, right? Let's say, for instance, you were on a team and your supervisor, whether you realized it or not, your supervisor considered you to be the star of that team. They considered you to be the lead of that team. Whereas everybody else, they wanted everybody else to do the things that you did. And it would make them as a supervisor look better. It would also make them be able to work a lot less harder, right? But you maybe didn't realize how good you had it. Okay. Now, for some of you, this might have to do with a friendship circle or even a lover. I don't see a lot of cups here other than the Three of Cups and the Queen of Cups, but this could have something to do with a personal situation. If that's the case, this would be kind of like you were dating somebody And this person, this person is stable, they're financially secure, they make money, they make moves, they make decisions. They're probably somebody that everybody admires, respects, probably secretly has a crush on. You know the type. Girls want to date him, guys want to be him. And you found yourself with this person, and then you found out that you weren't the only person that this person was dealing with. Then you found out that and it doesn't even really have to do with just so much the fact that you are one of a few or one of a many. It was how this person was moving, it was how this person was treating you all. And it I don't think it was necessarily a bad thing. I think it was, um there were some elements of this person feeling like whatever they want they can have, but there was also this element of taking care of what they have, if you know what I mean. And so, for you, I don't think you realized, I think you thought that everything that you were getting from this person was giving to everyone else too. I don't think you realized that the level of special attention that this person was paying to you above everybody else. And that's the reason why you went Queen of Wands in the reverse. Because instead of you sitting back, and listen, once again, you get no judgment from me. I'm not one to share. So I don't give a fuck if at the end of the day I'm the only one getting the gold coin, the gold cup, and the silver tongue. If I am just one of a few that are getting any of it, I don't want it. I don't want it. You can divvy it up between them. I want what's for me and what's for me only. And I think that's the position that you took. The only thing was you didn't stop to think that this was going to be much harder for you to move past. It was like scorching the earth, putting everything upside down, turning everything upside down, flooding it, turning it into a lake so there's no more forest fires to be had. That was the easy part. But it wasn't until you got to that point. It wasn't until you had already flooded everything and you created all the chaos and the havoc and you got everybody on the edge of the woods shaking in their boots and not quite knowing exactly who you are, where you came from, and what's going on. It wasn't until then you started to realize and reflect, like, I can't just walk away from this. I've burnt it all down, but I still can't just walk away. And that's where the grief comes from. And now you might be sitting in the space of, what have I done? Don't matter now, it's done. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can definitely go back and, I don't know, maybe drain the lake now and spend the next however long you wanna, trying to, repopulate the soil and bring new species back into the woods and yada 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 yada. I think more so for you though, I think your thing is about accepting the destruction, where it came from, really sitting back and examining what set you off in this plane, and then moving forward and trying to find a place, a safe space where you don't even have to. So, like, all right, using the analogy of the woods, right? You done flooded the wood space, you done ran all the livestock off, all the wildlife is gone. It's no longer woods, it's now a lake. It is what it is, right? And you're thinking to yourself, damn, I should not have done that. I should have just handled the forest fire, taken care of that little patch, and then the rest of my woodland friends wouldn't have been displaced, right? All the other consequences that came down the pike wouldn't have taken place, right? Except for, here's the thing. You can't really, like, you have completely destroyed that. So move on, right? And that's what the universe is saying. Your destiny, this was bad lesson to learn. It's a sword in the bottom. suck ass way to learn this lesson, right? But what have you learned? And how do you take what you've learned and move forward so that the next time you come across a forest fire or a little campfire, something small, you don't go all scorched earth again? And that's part of what you've been doing in that Four of Swords energy. You've been trying to figure out, like, yeah, King of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune again. You've been trying to really break down yourself and analyze yourself and figure out where these opportunities for improvements reside. And that's very good, Gemini, as we all should. I'm gonna wrap this up because I gotta go, and I cannot believe it's already been an hour we've been talking about this. Please give me a message of guidance for Gemini moving forward. Don't be afraid of the change. Oh, okay. So, and you got three major arcanas. You've got the Death in the upright, you've got the World in reverse, and you've got the Lovers in the upright. Okay, so yes, there is a major change coming, but there's also a return coming. Um, for as bad as this may seem, it can be repaired. It can be repaired. And it will be repaired because you have the Lovers in the upright. You have to make a decision moving forward, though, that you are going to be in this Queen of Cups energy because she's back. You've got to make a decision moving forward to be in the Queen of Cups, not the Queen of Wands in the upside down. You've got to make a decision moving forward for your best self that you are going to work from a space of love, even long suffering love, rather than come from a space of unbridled passion, dare I say sometimes rage. Okay? I love you. It's been a blast. Have fun. Bye.